Hey guys, welcome back to Sparks and Recreation. Today we just pulled the Hellcat out of storage. It's been sitting for about 5 months, so it's completely filthy, dirty, dusty. But while it's here and before I get it over to the detail at the shop, we're going to change out the stock intake for a Legmaker intake, which you can fit a child's head in. So I'm going to show you basically how to do it. It only takes a couple small hand tools, screwdriver, 8mm, 10mm, and it should only take about a half hour. So. Also, if anyone's interested, that Valiant 71, it's for sale, so get a hold of me. So what I'm going to do first is remove these bolts that are holding in the reservoir for the coolant tank, and that 8mm that holds the majority of this intake. Next, I'm going to remove the intake temp sensor. Yeah, it's filthy. Gross. And how this one removes on the 2020 and newer, they used to plug in up here, and it was basically like a anchor you had to pull out. On the newer ones, this pops off from the nipple here. I'm also going to remove this little valve cover shield just so I have a little more room to work. As you can tell, I really need to clean in here. It's gross. You want to take this and save it because it's going to go in for the other intake. I'm going to fight with this. It's probably going to take... Alright, so a trick to help you get this barb off if it's giving you a hard time is you take a hair dryer to it, let it sit on it for about 2-3 minutes, and then it should pull right off. Use my Maggie hair dryer 10,000, get it done. Alright, now that that was heated up, it came right off, nice and pliable. I loosened a couple of these while I was drying it, so we should be able to take it right off the throttle body. I'm probably going to actually take this lid off just so I have easier access to grab onto everything. I had already replaced this K&N and it's already dirty again. That's only about 5,000 miles. Gonna save our old little intake tube here in case we ever need it. Have it like this. There's 4 tabs. You just pull them in, and then this whole box comes out. That's why we loosened this, so that we can move that up to get it around it. Alright, that's definitely the hardest part of the installation so far, because you really have the yank on that. Next, this little intake snorkel thing, you got to work on getting that out. Which it has tabs bolted from the inside of the bumper. We're not going to do that, so we're just going to punch out the tabs from the backside. Alright, if you just get in here, get both hands behind it, and pull it, it comes right out. So with this pulled out, it's time to install the new intake. Next, you take your Legmaker coupler. We're going to go from this size intake to this. Back to our 10mm. Should have brought some power tools to make this go a lot faster. When you do these band clamps, you don't want it so tight that you want it snug, where you can't move it but not over torqued, because this band could easily damage something because it's way stronger than the original clamp. Alright, next, grab this bad boy. To heat this up again so we can get it over this nipple. The nipple's here. We have to get our intake temp sensor plugged in again and get this all rigged up here. I might actually have to rotate this a little to make it so it fits a little better. So a little bit of trial and error on that. All right, so we got that plumbed. We're gonna take our intake sensor, get that back in. Get that nice and seated. Plug that bad boy back in. Now for the intake, the actual filter. All right, so you just finesse that on, tighten it up with an 8mm, it's on that. Then we gotta work on putting our bolts back on, our valve cover back on, and then the little Legmaker plate goes right over all this and bolts into the single bolt that you removed in the beginning. And that's all there is. Let's button it up. All right, our coolant tank is bolted back in. I'm actually going to use some tools here, and I'm going to tighten all the clamps back up because I had loosened them to make it a little easier to arrange everything. Your last step is this little plate actually just sets. See this little tab right there? Sets up in that tab. Run the one bolt, and it just holds it in place. And that's it. Ready to go. Thanks for watching. I guess I'll do a quick video of inside the car, what it sounds like from inside. This makes it so you hear a lot more supercharger whine. We have the Legmaker installed in the car, just driving normal, can't really hear anything. Hear just a little. That's low RPM. We'll get into it here in a minute. We got the Amish. We're one of the few Hellcats in our little Amish town. My exhaust is so loud, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, really. It's obnoxious how loud this car is. It sounds like a NASCAR, so that's cool, but unfortunately it makes it hard to tell the intake. You can kind of hear it. You guys with just a little bit if we can hear outside here.